Thank you for tuning in to CNXMore, featuring the shared experiences, new adventures, and nightmares of four pals who have known each other for decades. CNXMore utilizes the swear jar concept to raise funds for the American Cancer Society. When you hear this during the episode, the offender will contribute to the swear jar. We'll update the swear jar each week at the end of the program. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of CNXMore. I'm Eric. There's John.
Hello.
That's Brian.
Hello.
And there's Jason.
Here we are.
On this episode of CNXMore, me and Brian talk about what's on the side. Jason and John flash their fashion police badges. And then it's an R-rated whip around. But let's start with a little check-in with everyone. Listen, Puds, there's more than 4.25 million podcasts worldwide. So what are we even doing out here? I mean, outside of getting me to stop 5 years of whining about doing a podcast, why did we decide to jump into this very, very crowded pool? John, why are we here?
Well, I think the answer is different for everybody, but the thing I realized was that I was at a place in life where I had a ton of acquaintances and not very many friends. And I realized a lot of the activities I did to relax were solitary activities, like going for a run. And I also thought that isolation was really dangerous for me. And then as we got into the endless scroll, probably 10 years ago now, I became distrustful of that. I think it produces a sense of connection that's kind of an illusion. It's a dopamine hit for sure, but I think it's shallow and addictive. And I just didn't want to get lost in all of that. So I started thinking about what was the quality about the relationships I had in real life, like the one with my wife. And it was consistency. It was consistency. And so I looked around for what I had in my other relationships that had consistency. And it was this group chat with you guys. I found it with you guys. And I think it's really, really important. I'm on board to turn that sort of outward to everybody else, because I know how much I benefit from it and how central it is to me being okay in any given day. So, let the group chat see the sunlight.
Jason, what about you?
Well, I think it's the group chat for me, I think too, has been a really interesting anchor, because as things happen in our everyday lives, how cool is it to have that one little outlet? You see something funny, you see something stupid, you have a frustration of some sort, to drop that thing in the group chat and to have you guys respond to that thing is great. I mean, it's very uplifting, and it makes you again feel connected. But it also, the fact that we now get to do this more often because of the podcast, we see each other and talk to each other more often, has been a huge bonus in my life. I've really enjoyed that part of it, because I was thinking the other day, like sometimes it was an effort. Like sometimes, Jocko, like I'd be driving somewhere and I would just like call you and you're like, oh, hello. Like, what's this? It was just weird to call each other on the phone like that. Like we just wouldn't do that.
Yeah, like who died?
That's very weird.
Yeah,
yes.
who died?
But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But this four-way call and being able to do this as a group like we would if we were sitting around a campfire together or sitting at a tailgate together, this is more natural. This is how we work together, and just like the group chat. So I think to me that's been such it's been so great to do this more regularly now, and it's still kind of natural to just sit down and talk like this, even though we are recording it.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I'm going to share the same sentiments that John and Jason said about the group chat, and just the lack of communication with some people, because we're all working remotely now. We're all doing different things. We're in different parts of the state. We don't get together very much, so it's good to see everybody every week or two. The other part is, I think other people can benefit from our stories and wisdom. I do this at work all the time. I share a story about me in the military, share a story about something stupid I did way back when, or share feelings about stuff or opinions. And I think this is just a good venue for all that to share it with more people. And we all have these type of stories. And I think it's good that we have this venue to do that.
Yeah, I also agree with everything that Jason and John said about how this enhances my quality of life hanging out with you, Puds, for sure. But also what I wanted to make a point of is what Brian said, and because I do see this at work. I work with folks wherever I've worked that they go home and maybe they do something on the weekend, but it's not like with their people or that they have people to do this with. And I want to encourage them to have what we have. We tell this story all the time how our buddy Chuck uh, started pointing out to us years ago, because I don't even think we really even saw it. I think this is what we thought people did. And he said, you guys have been together for, at this point, 30, 40 years and still sit down without missing a beat, no matter how long you've been apart, and have a great time together every time you're together. And he said, this is unusual, especially over this many decades, that a lot of people don't have that. And I'm with you, Brian. I tell stories to folks in different generations and things, and, we get a good laugh and a kick out of it, and hopefully they learn something. But I like to get that from them too. I like to try to pull stuff out of them, because the generations, as especially I think our generation has found out from both sides of us, is that those changes happen quick, and we learn and live different ways. And I think all that can be celebrated, though. And that's why I think we want to do this. We were just at homecoming at UNI, sitting around with friends, and a friend of ours shared our podcast with her friends, and they got a kick out of that, and out of these four guys sitting around yucking it up and having fun. And I hope that inspires them to go do that, right?
Yeah, let me point out that, you don't have to have kept up your friendships for 30 years in order to be eligible to have this kind of connection with people, right? It can be rekindled at any point. And there's so much data and information flowing around, and it feels like you're in contact with something or somebody, but you're not, right? We have this word parasocial now, where people think they know more about, television personality, or they're a recording artist, than they do the person that they, were best friends with for 10 years. And that's really dangerous. Like, that's really dangerous. That is not something that I think is person by person. I'm going to go on and say, like, that's a problem if we all just retreat to our corners.
Or even those people who I'm like Facebook friends with, and I know them, like they're in Dubuque here, and I know them from seeing them someplace. But you follow their socials and you see what they're doing, and then you see them again in real life, and you're like, oh hey, I think I know a lot about you, and I've seen where you've traveled, and I've seen where you eat dinner. Do you talk about that? You know what I mean? It's weird. It's not a real relationship. You're like, I feel like I know everything about you, but if I talk about it, I'm going to seem like a stalker or a weird, it creates these, like you said, John, parasocial. It's not really social. I really don't know how that person felt about their dinner, or where that place that they went. I know you saw that movie last week. Do you talk? Hey, I saw you saw that movie last week. Is that weird?
So I've started, when I run into somebody and it's just been following their social media for a long time, I will say as a joke, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Right.
And just make it clear, right, that I've been following your stuff, but I haven't talked to you about it.
Yeah.
I've had those conversations with those folks before too, and you think you do know them, and then you start trying to actually have a conversation like what we do here today, and it is somehow, for some reason, oddly awkward. But also, I still take that as an entry point to get to know those folks, right? And
Yep.
we're always looking to find more people to bring into the fold, and have share this time with.
Yeah, and you can edit this out, but I just want to say thanks, because I was let back into this little organization at one point after a period away, and it was a period where I was pretty vulnerable in my life, and I was really glad that happened. It's been a really foundational part of me over the last 20 years or so.
Well, I think the advice too should be to all of our listeners: take the trip, go see those folks, book the hotel, drink the beer, buy the t-shirt, do whatever you got to do to make those connections and rebuild that with people. It matters.
Oh my God.
Take the risk. Do it.
It's not about the concert. It's not about the extended solo. It's about who you went there with and what the experience was.
Just do it. Take the trip. Yeah.
That's what, that's what goes in your head, and that's what you're going to be thinking about at the end of your life.
Go
Not
see that old friend. Take the trip, buy the ticket. Just do it.
And this is what builds your support system.
the other thing I want to point out is that this is a group of people who did this while they have moved out of their own zip code, and in some cases moved back. But we've been a lot of places. We're not people who are stuck on the tailgate of the same pickup. And it would be fine if we were, but we're not. We've been all over the world as a group, and there's a lot that we can bring back to each other. And so it doesn't matter how distant you think your social group is. Like that, the whole point of being alive right now is that doesn't matter.
And we welcome in all of our listeners to join us. We love to expand our network, and we hope that we can all continue to have this connection and maybe even more. So, well, look, I love you guys, but now it's time to talk about sides we love. If your idea of a good time includes watching tornadoes from the porch, tossing toilet paper into trees after homecoming, or serving up Jell-O with shredded carrots, chances are you may be stuck in the middle. This is where we dive into quirks, traditions, and comfort foods that make the Midwest unforgettable. So look, Turkey Day's right around the corner. And I don't know about you, Wayne, but while the turkey is the center of the attention, I love those side dishes, right? I mean, so many classics like mashed potatoes, dressing, cranberry sauce. Wayne, what's top of your list? What's going right next to that turkey first?
So the two things that we do or bring, Mrs. Roper and I, and I'm just going to say Mrs. Roper does most of the work. I'm not going to lie, okay? I might peel potatoes, but that's about it, right? But
you got that KP duty on your resume.
Moral support.
Darn right I do.
What is he, Beetle Bailey or something? What?
So our big thing is sweet potato casserole. That's her big thing. It's a huge thing with her family. And there's never or rarely ever leftovers for that. It's that popular.
It's a potato casserole?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato casserole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshmallows on top?
You bet.
Okay, just checking.
Yep. Some type of, you
might get singed just a little, right?
Yep. You bake it and all good.
Is there any brown sugar involved in this?
Absolutely. Lots of it.
Nice. Get that little caramelization going.
Pound of potatoes, pound of brown sugar. That's the combo there.
Pretty much.
Bunch of butter holding it together. Welcome to the Midwest.
With butter. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most unhealthy things. Yes, it's, yeah.
One of us has to say defibrillator for a side.
That is so true.
John Travolta shoving a needle full of adrenaline into our heart while we lay there on the floor.
And so our other one is just plain old mashed potatoes with Kerrygold butter and a little bit of cheese. I mean, we've gone other ways in certain years of, not going with, for lack of a better word, real potatoes, cutting them up, boiling them, then mashing them. We tried the instant, we tried the Costco potato already made, mashed potatoes already made and just heat it up. There were complaints. So
hey, Brian, good Kerrygold call out. That is the avocado toast of my household. We waste so much money on good butter.
Yes,
and
we do.
We'll go anywhere we need to go to get the Kerrygold.
We buy it in bulk whenever it's on sale at Costco, and then we'll freeze it. What we're not going to use, and we'll freeze it and stock up and use it. But that's flavor country there. It's bland, but it's one of those staples you need for Thanksgiving is just
Absolutely.
Plain old mashed potatoes.
Gotta have it.
Yep.
We do a corn casserole, kind of a corn bake deal that is just incredible. We love that stuff. That's good. But I think my other side that's recently been created lately by my dad is cranberry sauce, but it's a bourbon cranberry sauce.
Of course it is.
Oh,
That does sound good.
it's so good. And it's not only is it a good side, but it's wonderful for leftovers. When you make a turkey sandwich and you put that bourbon cranberry sauce on that rye bread with the turkey, and oh yeah.
I can't do that. My food to be touching then, so I can't do that.
I was going to ask you because Ruben, I don't know if you know this, but Wayne's notorious for not having his food touch. In fact, one year, right, Tanya and I, we across the street from where we lived, our first house on the East Coast, they were closing a school building, a supply building. They were selling everything in it, and so we made sure to go over and get a set of 4 of those lunch trays that had the separate compartments. So we got Weenus like a set of 4 of those lunch trays with the separated compartments. Do you still use those for Thanksgiving?
I would actually, my family has one of those. My sister has one of those segmented plates, circular plates that show you how big your portion should be and everything. And that's my dividing, it does all the dividing for me. So that's wonderful.
That's nursing home prep right there. You're a nursing home early adopter.
I am.
Well, it was no food touching and no vegetables. That was always your thing. How are you on the vegetable thing these days?
I am so much better on vegetables than I used to be.
Okay, good.
I am not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm so much better than I was 20, 30 years ago.
I've seen him eat green pepper on a pizza.
Let's have a moment for some personal growth here.
Wow.
I mean, Mrs. Roper makes a kick-ass carrots, cooked carrots. Ooh, delicious. And I grill them up now, and I really like that. And they're not candied or anything like that. They're very savory. I do that now, so you wouldn't hardly recognize me now.
Our little Weenus is all grown up.
I know. I know.
Burned the hair right off his head, too.
You can call it evolution. You can call it evolution, if you will. I've evolved, maybe.
It's a beautiful thing.
What's the best side at the nicest Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, I will say, I do think, the green bean casserole with the little crispy onions on top, that's a staple. And either my mom or Aaron will make that every year. But I was also going to put in a plug for the cranberry sauce, and not the big thing that schlups out of the can.
Right.
Like actual real cranberries that are cooked a little bit with a little orange rind in there or something.
Yes.
Because there's nothing better than having that on the side. And sorry, Weenus, plug your ears. Like letting that cranberry kind of ooze into the other food, and you kind of get a little bit on your potatoes, get a little bit on your turkey. Oh, just having that kind of all to mix in a little bit, like an artist's palette.
Having a seizure right now.
Sorry, he looks like one of those retching emojis, like. Yeah. But that's so the green bean casserole, but then that a really good cranberry sauce is, and then at the same thing, like spreading that onto the leftover turkey sandwich the next day. Oh my God.
And you're from the country of the turkey dressing sandwich.
Yes, that's whenever anybody talks about the native cuisine of Dubuque, it's always the turkey and dressing sandwich.
Classic.
They used to feed us the open-faced turkey sandwich at school. That was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I get one of those at Bright Box?
Probably. The more famous place for him in Dubuque is Kramer's. It's a little meat market down on the north end that kind of out on the point that they're really famous for their turkey and dressing sandwiches. But of course, every funeral dinner, every church basement event always has turkey and dressing sandwiches in it.
Wow.
I played softball with a guy back when I lived on the Mississippi River there, and his family was from Dubuque. So he had 3 kids, and every time they had a graduation, he ran up to that Kramer's and got a big load of turkey dressing. And I never missed that graduation party.
So Connect More listeners, the next time you need holiday food in Dubuque, Iowa, head on over to Kramer's.
CREMER.
All right, real quick, John, what's your favorite side?
I am also a vote for the green bean casserole. It's a got to have. The general basis of at least on my side, is very Southern. It's got the candied sweet potatoes and the cornbread, but also then the green bean casserole. And that's, the green bean casserole is so silly because it was invented by Campbell's Soup. It was put on the side of the mushroom soup can. It is the definition of a sort of basic that goes with your Thanksgiving dinner, but it has become required. Like it gets noticed if it's not there. It has to be there. And that's just hilarious to me that it's like a talisman, for Thanksgiving that somebody on Madison Avenue dreamed up in the 50s.
Hey man, that's we all get our chocolate chip cookie recipe off the chocolate chip bag too.
The
So
Toll House bag, Toll House
this is
chocolate
our
chip
this is
cookies.
our comfort
Yeah,
zone.
absolutely. They knew marketing back then, that's for
That's
sure.
exactly right.
Hey, well, this is some good stuff. Well, let's transition to talk about maybe some not so good stuff.
You ever see something so dumb you wonder if the laws of logic have just packed up and moved to Canada? In Box of Rocks, we marvel at the baffling decisions and broke system that make you ask, how? How did this happen? So, boys, we want to know, what is the worst fashion choice for people in our age bracket? So we're talking Gen X here, 50s-ish. And why is the tech bro vest that choice, that bad fashion choice? Who wears vests besides tech and finance bros and Dem political candidates?
I'm glad we created a whole segment to pick on me. I feel very special.
Well, first of all, that was an excellent intro, and Box of Rocks should be its own podcast. That's first. And then second of all, I was wondering if we were like going right at Eric with this one. And I looked around, and you'll be happy to know that the Tech Bro Vest is still alive and well in the videos and photos of the Democratic candidates across the country who are saying, I am a safe, trustworthy male that you can go ahead and vote for.
Who's more trustworthy than a tech bro? I mean, come on.
I have a question and then a story, kind of in a way to defend myself here a little bit. But where does this tech bro vest? Where does that term come from? I don't.
Well, the reference is in Silicon Valley, which has been 8 or 9 years ago now. Like, it became the uniform. Instead of wearing jackets, they started wearing an Oxford shirt with a zip-up fleece vest, usually Patagonia, but sometimes North Face. And then there were more designer options. And so it was, think of like J.D. Vance trying to pass in Silicon Valley as if he, had some level of sophistication. And that's what it is. It's like an automatic sophistication. I will say, it was the people I've dealt with from Utah, from Nevada. It's everywhere. It's like they all have these vests on.
It's a finance bro thing too. Like on Wall Street and things, you see the finance bros walking around, like at lunch, like talking about finance, whatever that is.
The only place I didn't see it was Seattle, and they probably had it earlier and have moved on. And they're like, that's so 2012.
All right. So, in my defense, a little bit, I'll tell this story because it's probably the funniest story that came out of. Hey guys, you remember that one time I ran for lieutenant governor of the state of Iowa?
Oh,
wasn't that crazy?
yeah.
You kind of
cool.
Do you remember?
I remember writing a couple checks, I think.
Thank you.
That was a
Walter.
really expensive year. Of course, we remember that.
You
My
bought
kids
me like
still aren't
4
getting
tech bro
Christmas
vests
gifts.
that year.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I think
Do you
my
really
check
have
said,
4?
I'm pretty sure my check said no vests.
No vests. and there's a 50-50 chance you're not kidding about that, which is great. So what happened there is I did have this opportunity to run for a statewide office. This actually wasn't when I was running for lieutenant governor. I was actually seeking the nomination for Secretary of State, and how all that balled into that is a different podcast. But I was meeting with my consultants, and they wanted to come over and take some pictures, for our cowboy cards and website and such. And so we were talking about what I should wear. And you need to know this, listeners. Ruben, you'll remember, like, I wore suits and sports coats, and at this time I was wearing a bow tie every single day. Like, I was known for where I would go to state conventions, and if it was a Friday and I didn't wear a bow tie, people that I didn't even know who they were would walk by me and say, "Hey, where's the bow tie?" So that's what I was wearing at that time. So these guys said, "Here's what we'd like you to wear. Just get a nice solid shirt and then a vest." And I said, and I was like, oh, like what I was thinking was like a suit vest. Like you wear a 3-piece suit. I was like a suit vest? And they're like, no, like the other vest, they didn't call it the tech boy vest, but describing the vest you're talking about. And I said, I don't wear those.
Mm,
And all the time, Tanya's in the background hearing this conversation, and she is on the floor laughing. So they were coming up at the end of the week. I had to hurry. I found some Tech Bro vests on the fly on Amazon, I think, and now I have like 8 of them, plus 2 kind of suit vest things that I wear also.
frequency of you wearing that vest or one of them in the fall.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it'll happen. That is absolutely part of my regular outfit now. Yeah, I probably won't replace them. I do like the cardigan sweaters more.
As you
So
wear them out, like you wear the like replace them. What do you mean replace them? As they wear out, you can't replace them? Is that what your plan is? Like I'm going to wear these things till they fall apart and disintegrate?
they have a good couple years yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah.
your chest colder than the rest of your body? So you're missing arms, you know? 'Cause don't you like freeze from the outside in?
See,
Right. So
it's-
you probably need sleeves, right?
no, it regulates. Just like when you're in bed and you
Jesus.
stick your foot out, your arms are out of the vest, so it regulates. You look snazzy.
He's
When
a-
you're out there talking about finances, right, Jay? You look like you're
right,
talking
that's
about
finance.
finances. And,
He's a
and you're
vest-
regulated.
He's a vest apologist. I never thought I'd see the day.
I know. Did you say snazzy? That you're going for snazzy?
I think
Right.
I do feel like we got to take Eric off the hook here a little bit though. What are some other fashion things that people our age should avoid?
Hey, I got one that might be controversial. I think there's enough interesting kinds of tennis shoes being made now that you don't just wear your running shoes into the office when you're dressed casual. Like you can get a pair of tennies that looks pretty amazing and are relatively fashionable, and they keep better when you just wear them to the office for the casual time. Now in my house, those are called my nursing home shoes, but they are incredibly comfortable and there's support on all sides of the foot, and I don't come in at the end of the day feeling like I have collapsed arches. So
Do they have the
I would-
Velcro straps? Is that what we're
not
talking
yet,
about?
but listen, they're nice, loose, wide nylon ties. You know, you don't have to think very much about tying. I'll move to Velcro as soon as I think it's, age appropriate, which is
Or
coming.
is it those Skechers things you can just step right into?
Oh
the
my
slip-ons?
God, that'll be so perfect. Yeah, if we can get to those. Yes.
Now, I thought for sure I would not be the first person to bring this up, but the fashion item that I think no one our age should wear is, of course, the flat-billed hat,
Yeah.
baseball hat.
I was absolutely going to bring that up because, Jay,
Can't-
you and I just
can't do it.
recently
Can't
talked
do it.
about
We
that.
did.
I've seen one human being pull this look off. And as he gets older, he won't be able to do this any longer. And that's Jason's youngest son, Louis. Like, I think he can still pull that off. But every other human I've ever seen with these things on, they just look ridiculous, right?
The kids
No
can
question.
pull it off, but man, you get to a certain age, it just is not a good look. Like the flat bill, and they still got the sticker on it sometimes and stuff. It's guys, come on. It's just to grow up, wear a real baseball hat like a real baseball player would, because even the baseball players for a couple years were doing the flat bills.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're doing a little bit of a curve again because it doesn't look ridiculous on a grown man.
So I got one from a friend who will eventually listen to this podcast, and he says that you can't wear the jersey of a player who is younger than you are. So it would not be, we would have to wear like Hall of Famer jerseys. We would only be eligible for folks who played when we were younger and up.
Huh.
And I vehemently disagree with this. And
Yeah,
we
I'm
should
not
take
into
some
that.
listener input on this because I just think that's a terrible rule. I think, you know, when you're watching NFL in your 50s, for example, as we are, that those people are going to be the age of your children.
Right.
And that, you're going to, everybody's going to be, that age bracket. So you're going to have any jersey you pick out is going to be younger than you by, 20 to 30 years.
I don't think we should be wearing jerseys after like certain age, maybe 40, 50 anyway. It just,
How about when you go to a game though?
that's fine.
But not just like in casual
fine.
wear, like
But like
going
to
out
Hy-Vee,
to eat or something.
Sure, yes.
Yeah,
not-
that's
right.
fine.
You don't show up at Hy-Vee in your jersey when you're
Right.
when you're us.
Right. That's okay.
But guys, these soccer jerseys, like on a nice warm day, they are so comfy.
And they look pretty
So-
cool. Like they are. I'm not even a soccer fan, but I admire the jerseys. They're pretty cool.
All right. So the codicil here is if nobody knows what the team is, you can wear the jersey.
And that's pretty safe around here. No one's gonna. Is that the Liverpool jersey or whatever? Like what? Sorry, is that a team? By the way, is Liverpool? Is that a team?
Wait, is that the Rock Island Arsenal jersey you're wearing? What is that?
Why are you promoting a wireless company?
I'm with Wayne though. What about? I haven't. Now that you brought this, I do have a couple soccer jerseys over the last 5-7 years, but I can't remember the last time I bought like the jersey of my favorite baseball team or football team to wear.
Yeah, just don't.
Now that we've rated everybody's fashion faux pas, let's get into some R-rated movies, shall we?
No doubt someone's wondering where we are by now. So before we get called back to reality, let's stick and move with some quick takes, fast laughs, and then we're out. It's time for a good old-fashioned whip around.
Whip around.
Whip around.
Whip around.
All right, quick and dirty, boys. What's the first rated R movie you ever snuck into or got caught watching? I'll start with Eric.
Yeah, I think like caught watching would have been. Well, Wayne would know this because we got cable TV around the same time, and back then everyone would get HBO. So I think caught watching R-rated was Friday the 13th for me. Yeah, that's for sure.
That was Mrs. Roper's answer, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So Friday the 13th. But I never really snuck into any movies, but the first rated R movie that I went to, my dad took me to, was Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Yeah.
It's a great movie. Check it out, kids.
Yep.
Hey, what year was the original Friday the 13th?
1980.
So you were 10.
It starred a young Kevin Bacon.
It's amazing.
Yep. All right. Next one, we'll go to Jackson.
So the first, I was kind of a rule follower as a teen, so there was very little sneaking in to things, and I also looked really, really young, so there was no like walking in and faking it like, hey, that guy must be 18, like give me a break. But I do remember sneaking in to see To Live and Die in L.A.
Oh.
Which was probably in like 85-ish. So again, I was like well into my teens before I ever snuck into an R-rated movie, but I definitely remember like sneaking into that one. So
you are our moral compass and our ethicist, Jason.
Well, I'm afraid John's going to give the same answer I do, so I'm still going to give it
Did
to
you
John.
go together?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't think so. Well,
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't
know if
what a
you'll say
giveaway
this or
that
not.
would be. Well, look at those two young adults sneaking in.
We did it the same place though. I'm guessing we did it the same place. So
I'm not sure where
John
you're
go.
going for sure, but Stage 4 Theater, 1981, the James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only. Sheena Easton on the song and a montage with a naked woman swimming at the very beginning of the movie. I think we had tickets for the Apple Dumpling Gang. Does that sound right? And then we
No, you
just
didn't,
kind of
'cause that was
that
earlier
earlier?
than that.
So
No,
we
that was
just kind
earlier
of
than
did
that
the
Bond
little
movie.
weave. Well, then it was like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or something, right? And then
Earlier.
we did the little weave over into the other theater,
Herbie
and
Rides
nobody
Again.
knew and nobody cared, and so that's what's wrong with me.
I'm sure that was very, a good sneak-in story. But was that Bond movie a rated R movie?
Oh gosh, I think so. I guess I didn't look I guess I didn't look. We think it was a PG-13 movie?
I don't think AIMR. Well, they didn't have
Oh,
PG-13 then. They didn't
No,
have
they didn't.
PG-13 until after Indiana Jones. That's what
Right.
caused it.
Right. So you're saying
The
it would have
Temple
been
of Doom.
PG? I think that's unlikely, but maybe.
All right. So mine is Caddyshack.
Ooh,
Oh,
you saw that in the
nice.
theater?
I did at Westdale
Wow.
Mall. At Westdale. And I thought for sure John probably saw that at Westdale. But you kind of realize after a while, I did exactly what John did. Except so Stage 4 isn't too far from Westdale Mall. But yeah, you get a ticket for something else and you just kind of slide over to the next show. And I did that for Caddyshack. And while while my family, my mom was at the mall or whatever, going shopping, whatever. She goes, "Oh yeah, go see a movie." I was like, "Okay," and I did, and just
And
slid
later,
over
did
into
she say,
and
"Is that the one with that cute little gopher who's like, yes, Mom, that's the one."
That's the one.
That's all it was dancing stuffed animals.
And I just want to say, I did blow this category. That movie is a PG movie, but I was 11 and like religious family and all of that. So I promise you it was wrong for me to go see that movie.
Good job.
All right. We're going to consider ourselves officially whipped. The swear jar amount to benefit American Cancer Society is now up to what? Jesus H fucking Christ. $43. Oh my God.
That'll buy a
last
Tupro
episode
vest.
was a big one.
That last
I'll buy
episode
you
was
some
a big
Patagonia.
one. All right. So closing credits, please.
Thank you for listening to Connect More. I'm the producer. Please subscribe and like this podcast because it's my only chance of getting paid for this gig. Connect More is a product of Pantiger LLC and is hosted by Brian Danielson, Eric Van Lanker, Jason Nisus, and John Hedgecoff. Connect More is edited by me and Jocko. The showrunners are Jax, Hedge, and Weenus. Theme music written and recorded by Ryan Veeder. Cover art designed by Leon Golden. Musical director is Evil. Legal liaison is Brian. Lead writers are John and Eric. Runner-up writers are Jason and Captain Danielson. Publication coordinator is Jax. Special thanks to GVC, Aaron, Miss Roper, and Yoko. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow Connect More on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.